Welcome to MaxLife, man, where science meets strength and age doesn't mean the end. I'm Dr. Sterling Thorne, and with the Evergreen Peaks Institute, we've spent years standing beside men just like you, not to add years to life, but life to the years that matter most. Let me ask you something raw. Have you ever stood in front of the mirror at 6 a.m., shirt half on, eyes half closed, and quietly thought, is this it? Is this who I've become? Not weak, not sick, just a version of you that feels like a dimmed light bulb, still warm, still wired, but no longer lighting the room. I've heard it 1,000 times. Doc, it's not about the act, it's about who I used to feel like when I could. That fire in the blood, that pressure in the chest, that sense of still being him. And here's the truth no one's shouting on TV. Erections aren't just about desire. They're a reflection of your circulatory power, your testosterone balance, your pelvic muscle tone, your identity as a man in motion. And when those systems go still, so does your confidence. But here's where it turns. You don't need a little blue pill. You don't need to settle for the slow fade. And you damn sure don't need permission to fight for your fire. Because there are 3 movements proven by urologists, used by elite rehab teams, that can reignite blood flow, recharge your testosterone response, and rebuild your inner edge. And #2, that one's a sucker punch. Nobody sees it coming, but it wakes everything up. So let's do this together. If you're ready to reclaim what's yours, tap that like button. If you believe strength can return in body, in spirit, hit subscribe. And I want to hear you. Have you ever tried a real routine to rebuild your performance? Drop a yes or I'm ready in the comments. I read everyone, because today we're not just stretching muscles. We're reclaiming manhood, 1 rep, 1 breath, 1 choice at a time. Let's begin. Silent truth, why erections fade after 60. Let me tell you something most doctors don't say out loud. Erections are not just about arousal, not just about fantasy, not even just about testosterone. They're about circulation. They're about nerve signals firing properly. They're about pelvic muscles contracting with purpose. And above all, they're about systems staying in sync. But here's the silent truth. As we age, those systems slow down. Not because we're lazy, not because we're broken, but because aging, inflammation, hormonal drift, and inactivity slowly tighten the tap that once opened freely and flooded you with confidence. Let me tell you about George, 68, retired firefighter, still strong as hell in the arms. But he sat in my office with eyes lowered and said, "Doc, it's like the fire's still in the truck, but the hose just isn't working." And I looked him in the eye and said, "George, you still have the water. We just need to clear the pipe." See, after 60, a few things quietly gang up on you. Lower testosterone levels mean less nitric oxide, the compound that relaxes blood vessels so blood can rush where it's needed. Pelvic muscles weaken from sitting too long or avoiding targeted movement. And your vascular health, especially if you've had high blood pressure, cholesterol, or blood sugar, directly affects how strong or weak your erection can be. It's not just a bedroom problem. It's a blood flow problem, a muscle problem, a confidence problem. But here's the good news, and you better believe it. Every one of those factors is changeable. You can wake the blood vessels up again. You can rebuild pelvic strength. You can breathe life back into that confidence, naturally, daily, without shame. And that's exactly why the first exercise I'll show you isn't something you'll find in a gym brochure. It starts with the muscle that sits under the weight of every doubt you've ever had. The one that, when trained, can lift more than just your body. Ready to meet it? Let's go. Pelvic floor activation, the forgotten power. Let me ask you something you've probably never heard from a doctor. Have you ever trained the muscles between your legs, not the thighs, not the glutes? I'm talking about the pelvic floor, the internal hammock of muscle that holds your core, your bladder, your prostate, and yes, your erection. Most men don't even know it exists. But here's the shocking truth. This one muscle group may hold more power over your manhood than your arms, chest, or back ever did. Let me introduce you to Leonard, 70, retired mechanic. No nonsense, no frills. He came to me after a prostate scare and said, "Doc, everything works except when it counts." I gave him one simple assignment, 10 minutes a day of pelvic floor training. No pills, no machines, just controlled contractions, what some call Kegels for men. And 3 weeks later, Leonard emailed me at 6:05 a.m. Doc, I woke up standing proud, no alarm needed. Here's why it works. The pelvic floor supports the bulbous spongiasis and ischiocavernosus muscles. They sound fancy, but they are the ones that control rigidity and ejaculation. When these are weak, blood leaks out too soon. When they are strong, blood stays, pressure builds, and you rise like you used to. So how do you do it? It's simple. Step 1, sit or lie down comfortably. Step 2, imagine you're trying to stop urination midstream. That squeeze, that's the muscle. Step 3, hold for 5 seconds. Release for 5 seconds. Repeat 10 times. Do it 3 times a day. No equipment, no sweat. Just quiet power being rebuilt from the inside out. Now, have you ever tried Kegels before? I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Drop a tried it or new to this below. I respond to every brave man who shows up because this isn't about ego. This is about function, about freedom, and this is just the warm-up. Wait until you see exercise #2, the one that shocks everyone because it's not even about down there, but it changes everything. Reverse lunges, the surprising connection. Now here's where most men get it wrong. They think it's a bedroom problem, so the solution must be below the belt, right? Wrong, because the real support system for your sexual health starts in your legs. Yes, your legs. Let me tell you about Curtis, 63, divorced 10 years, starting to date again and trying to feel like himself. He watched one of my older videos and left this comment. Doc, why are you telling me to lunge like I'm in a CrossFit class? I'm trying to get it up, not run a marathon. And I get it. Lunges sound like punishment, but what if I told you reverse lunges, done slow, controlled, and intentional, are one of the most powerful ways to reignite testosterone naturally? Let's break it down. When you perform a reverse lunge, you're activating large muscle groups, quads, hamstrings, glutes, core stabilizers, and crucially, you're stimulating growth hormone and testosterone release through resistance-based movement. And here's the kicker. The more you challenge your legs, the more your body thinks you need to stay strong, reproductively strong. I once had a skeptical guy named Robert, 74, tell me, Doc, I've been walking every day for years and nothing's changed. I asked, are you walking flat or making your legs work? He added lunges to his routine, just 10 reps per side every other day. Within 4 weeks, he said something I'll never forget. I didn't just walk better, I stood taller everywhere. So here's how to do it safely. Step 1, stand tall, feet hip-width apart. Step 2, step backward with your right foot, lowering until your left knee is at 90 degrees. Step 3, push through your front heel to return to standing. Do 8-10 reps per side. Start with just 1 set. Can't do it standing. Start by sitting and standing from a chair 10 times. That alone lights up your testosterone response. Now let me ask you something. Do you already have a leg workout routine, or is this brand new info? Drop a leg day or starting fresh in the comments. I love seeing where you're at. And if you're still thinking, what does this have to do with erections, Doc? Let me read you this other comment from a man named Eddie, 67. Doc, after doing lunges for 2 weeks, let's just say my wife now asks if I've been taking something. I haven't, just lunges. You feel that? That's what circulation, testosterone, and pelvic synergy looks like. But wait, I promised you something strange. Something no one expects because the final exercise isn't even a workout. It's something your body's forgotten how to do, but once it remembers, everything changes. Let's go there next. Deep breathing for nitric oxide. Most men ignore this. Let me say this loud and clear. You've been breathing wrong. And it's costing you your energy, your erections, and your peace. Now I know breathing doesn't sound like a workout, but here's the shocker. Deep nasal breathing isn't just relaxation fluff. It's a biochemical switch that controls your nitric oxide levels, your blood vessel function, and ultimately your ability to rise when it matters. Let me paint a picture. Every time you inhale through your nose, slowly, fully, your sinuses release nitric oxide, a gas that dilates blood vessels. That means more blood reaches your heart, more oxygen reaches your muscles, and more flow reaches your pelvic region. Yes, deep breathing directly impacts your ability to get and maintain an erection. Now let me tell you about Sam, 69. He emailed me and said, "Doc, I've tried supplements, smoothies, even yoga, but the biggest change came from breathing differently." I gave him a 5-minute breathing protocol. No gear, no gimmicks, just him, a chair, and his breath. And in 2 weeks, "Doc, I don't know if it's placebo or not, but I feel more alive. Even my dreams are different." Science says it's not placebo. Studies from the Journal of Sexual Medicine and Harvard's Division of Sleep Medicine show that controlled nasal breathing improves nitric oxide bioavailability, vagal nerve tone, for arousal regulation, testosterone optimization during sleep, even REM cycle depth, which correlates with nocturnal erections. So here's how to start. Dr. Thorne's 5-minute flow breath routine. Sit upright, shoulders relaxed. Inhale slowly through your nose for 5 seconds. Hold for 2 seconds. Exhale through your mouth for 6-7 seconds. Repeat for 5 minutes. Once in the morning, once before bed. Try it right now if you want, just 1 cycle. I'll wait. Breathes in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold and out, slow and steady. Now, how do you feel? A little calmer, a little clearer? Drop a comment. Tried the breath if you just did that with me, or will try tonight. I love seeing which of you men are actually doing the work. Because listen, these 3 exercises, they are more than movement. They are a signal to your body that you're ready to come back to life. And when you combine them the right way, morning and night, you don't just rebuild performance, you reclaim your presence. Let me show you how they fit together, how these 3 work together and why you must combine them. Now you might be wondering, "Doc, do I really have to do all 3? Fair question, because yeah, one is muscle, one is movement, one is breath. But here's what most men miss. These 3 aren't random, they are rhythmic. They activate 3 vital systems, the pelvic core, the testosterone circuit, and the vascular engine. And when you train them together morning and evening like a simple ritual, something shifts. Let me show you the flow sequence I give my private clients. Morning routine under 10 minutes. Reverse lunges 8 reps/leg. Activates legs plus testosterone. Pelvic squeeze holds 10 reps. Fires the core plus primes erection control. 1 minute of nasal breathing. Boosts nitric oxide plus calm mental focus. Evening routine 5 minutes. Deep breathing 5 mins. Supports blood pressure, sleep quality, and testosterone during REM. Light kedgels before bed. Gentle stimulation without tension buildup. That's it. No gym, no equipment, just commitment and rhythm. And when men stick to this for 30 days, they don't just report stronger erections. They say things like, "I feel like myself again. I didn't think I could feel this solid at 65. I wake up ready, period." So here's a question for you. If you had to pick just one to start with, which one would you choose? Drop a lunge, kedgel, or breath in the comments. Let's see which tribe you're in. And hey, if you're still watching and haven't subscribed yet, I gotta ask, what are you waiting for? Fireworks from your shorts? Because trust me, they'll come after the routine, not before. So hit that subscribe button and let's build a brotherhood of men who don't settle for decline. Now, you've heard a lot from me, but how about I answer some of the most common questions I get from men just like you? Some are skeptical. Some are hopeful. All of them are real. Let's do that next. Common questions from men like you. Before we wrap up, I want to take a few minutes to answer some of the most common questions I get from men just like you. Sometimes they come as emails. Sometimes they're YouTube comments. And sometimes they're whispered across my desk, with a mix of embarrassment and hope. But they're always real. So let's walk through a few of them. You might just hear your own voice in one of these. "Doc, what if I can't do lunges? My knees aren't what they used to be." You're not alone. I always say modify, don't avoid. Try sit to stand from a chair or supported step backs holding onto a kitchen counter. Movement is medicine, even small movement. And if you're moving, you're winning. Is this stuff really better than taking a pill? Different tools for different men. But here's the truth. Pills treat symptoms. Exercises rebuild systems. If you want quick fireworks, sure, pop a pill. But if you want to wake up with power, real, lasting, no need to hide power, movement is the long game, and it works. How long before I feel a difference? Most men feel something within 2-3 weeks. Not always full transformation, but better morning energy. Firmer response, more confidence. Consistency is king. Give it 30 days and your body will start answering you differently. Doc, can I do these exercises if I have BPH or an enlarged prostate? Yes, and in fact you should. Pelvic floor training and deep breathing have been shown to reduce urinary symptoms, improve bladder control, and even ease pressure on the prostate. As always, check with your personal doctor, but these movements are designed for real men with real conditions. What if I'm over 70? Is it too late? Never. One of my proudest patients started this routine at 78, and now walks 2 miles a day, sleeps better, and says his wife can't believe the change. Age doesn't disqualify you. It just adds character to your comeback. If any of those questions hit home, drop a comment below. Ask me yours. I answer as many as I can because this channel isn't just about videos, it's about connection. Now you've heard the what, the why, and the how. But before we finish, I've got one last thing to say, and it's not about muscles or breathing. It's about you. Let's bring it home. Recap plus final message plus call to action. So let's recap. You came here looking for answers, maybe frustrated, maybe skeptical, maybe just tired. And what you found, not a magic pill, not a shame-based lecture, but something far better. 3 real tools you can start using today: pelvic floor activation to reclaim control and stability, reverse lunges to trigger natural testosterone and blood flow, deep breathing to restore nitric oxide and inner calm. And when you combine them with purpose, with rhythm, with patience, your body starts to respond in ways you may have thought were gone forever. Not because you're younger, but because you're wiser, and you're finally giving your body what it actually needs. Now let me say this straight from the heart. If you've made it this far in the video, I respect the hell out of you. You didn't click away. You didn't roll your eyes. You stayed. Because part of you still believes in your ability to rise physically, emotionally, spiritually. And that belief, that's where everything begins. So here's what I want you to do right now. Hit that like button, not for me, but for you. Let the algorithm and the universe know you're choosing to move forward. Subscribe to MaxLife, man, because every week I'll be here with science, stories, and strategies that help you own your age with power. Share this video with a friend, a brother, or someone who needs to hear it. You might just save a man from silently giving up. And most of all, leave a comment, ask your question, share your story, or just say, I'm starting today. I read every single one, and to all the men out there, may your mornings rise with you, may your fire never fade, and may your strength return stronger than ever. I'm Dr. Sterling Thorne, and this is MaxLife. I'll see you in the next video, so let's bring it all together. Today, you discovered 3 powerful urologist-approved exercises that can naturally reignite your strength, even after 60. Pelvic floor activation to rebuild the foundation of control reverse lunges, to awaken testosterone and leg-driven power deep nasal breathing, to increase nitric oxide and full-body blood flow. No pills. No gimmicks. Just science and self-respect. If you start this journey with commitment and rhythm, you're not just restoring function, you're reclaiming your confidence, your identity, your presence. Now I've got 4 small favors to ask you. If this episode helped you even a little, tap that like button, not for me, but for yourself, as a declaration that you're taking action. Subscribe so we can walk this path together, week by week, man to man. Share this video. You never know which friend, brother, or father might be silently struggling. Leave a comment, let me know where you're starting from, ask a question, or simply write, I'm not done. Because you're not, you're just getting started. And from all of us here at MaxLife, may your mornings rise with strength, may your days be filled with clarity, and may your second act be your strongest. I'm Dr. Sterling Thorne, and I'll see you in the next episode.